Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Boxes. This is Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, continuing down the wilds of Eldraine rabbit hole. After a kind of a rough weekend, I'm playing catch up with some content making. So today we are going to be opening up another box from Eldraine, but this time we're going to do something different. Today, I've got a bundle box from the wilds of Eldraine. I've not opened a bundle before on camera. It's actually been a hot minute since I have actually gotten a bundle box. I used to get these all the time. This box comes with 8 set boosters, some foil lands, traditional and foil, and then we've got an alt art Lich Knight's Conquest, the card box, and then a cool die. So I haven't gotten any dice recently outside of the pre-release kits. They have changed the size on them, where now they're in the bundles are these big honking huge dice. So I really liked the die that I got from I did get a Thrones of Eldraine bundle, and I got the big dice from that. I really liked that dice, so I'm hoping to get another nice coloring off of this one. So we're going to be busting into this, so let's go ahead and break it out, and then we'll get into our stacks. So let's see what we're dealing with here. And I tell you, really, for me, the key off of this set has been these Enchanted Tales, I think they're called, cards. Then we've got this little art card in here, and then the different roles that you can create that are auras. That's pretty cool. But yeah, the Enchanted Tales, these reprints, very reminiscent of the Strixhaven Mystical Archive cards. All right. Where they're taking old powerful cards and reprinting them. Okay, so here we go. I'm not really sure. I mean, I've seen these come in like commander decks. I don't really know what these punch outs are for, other than they're just stylistic. I think these are supposed to represent the auras, and then you do have some punch out encounters. So. But yeah, I don't know what these are for. Can somebody tell me? Because I usually just throw this stuff away. Because I have dice and whatnot to account for the other bits. Let's see. So here is, that looks like that's got a card in it. That's got something in it. So we'll bust those open. Here are our packs, and instead of draft boosters, these do come with set boosters, which I really like. I prefer the set booster over the draft booster. And here is our dice, and that's got a very nice coloring to it. I like that. The purple with the glittery coloration. That's really nice. And again, like I said, it is a nice big, I mean, here is, this is a spin down from the Brothers War, and you can see the size difference. I mean, this thing is massive comparatively. But the good question is, does it have good spin to it? Kinda. There we go. So you can kind of get a little good spin off of it. Okay. And I think that's everything in here. So we're going to, we can check these out first, I guess. And then we'll break into, maybe we'll do this into 2 stacks of 4, just so that the sections aren't overly long. So let's drop these here. So we'll get into these first, and then we'll get into these stacks of 4. So after the break, we'll be cracking into some packs. And we are back, and we're going to start off by just kind of getting into these kind of, I don't know what you would call this, wax paper, I guess. So let's see what we got here. Used to, they came in like just plastic wrap. So, okay, so these are just your basic land cards. And it looks like we've got 4 of each, maybe. 4 of each, yeah. So that's pretty straightforward. The art on these are really good. I do like the full art better. What are these? Okay, so that's just your rules and how to cast things. Okay. I do like the full arts on these. The treatment that they gave them was very beautiful. I kind of wish that these were full art lands instead of just regular basics, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, so we'll just use this handy dandy card holder there. And then let's get into this other one and see what we got here. All right. And here is our alt art that it was talking about on the box. Lich Knight's Conquest. Black and 4 for sorcery. Sack any number of artifacts, enchantments, or tokens. Return that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, that's pretty great. I like that. I mean, if you got clues that are doing nothing, foods that are doing nothing, treasures, you could sack those if you wanted to. Artifact creatures, mirror. Even if you were running this in an enchantment deck, what is it? Gojentai, the shrine deck. Sack some of those 1/1 shrine tokens. Those, I believe, are enchantment creatures, I think, or they're artifact creatures. And being able to return more shrine creatures or your other enchantments to the battlefield. I mean, I think that's a fantastic card right there, especially in Commander. The art on this is really beautiful. I wish, do I have handy? No, I do not. The original art on this, just for comparative sake, but I really like the art on that. That's pretty cool. Okay, and then the rest of this pack looks like it is just foiling on the basics. I mean, the foiling on this looks great. Again, kind of wish these were the full arts, and we've got 4 of them. So that means we've got 20, 40 basic lands, which is a great way to start. I mean, this is a great, starting experience to kind of help build your collection, have some lands to play with, have some cards to build off of, get a cool ass dice. Yeah, I mean, this is great so far. I think this is pretty good value for what you're putting into it. So, all right. So that is that first section. After the break, we will bust into this first stack of 4 cards. So we will see you then. And we are back, so let's get into, I decided to take the 8 stacks that came with this box, this bundle box, and divide it into 2. So we're going to do 2 stacks of 4. So let's start crack-a-lacking into these things. And are these going to be backwards? I think so. Okay. So art, just look at that gorgeous swamp. And this is built shadow box, so it's not actually drawn. So this is actually like a scenario, a scene that somebody built, and then they took a picture of it. And it is just beautiful. All right, then we've got our not our basics, our commons. Eldraine. I said this before in a previous video. This is just beautiful art. I love the art on this. This would be a fantastic playmat. Looking at the artist, I am very surprised that is not Seb McKinnon, because that looks like a very Seb McKinnon piece of art. So that is just gorgeous. Fairies have been very big in this set because it is a Fey realm, looking at fairy tales and Arthurian legend, and so I mean lots of fays in this set. I really like this Fey fencing. Black and X, target creature gets XX until end of turn, and then if you control a fairy, it gets an additional -3/-3. I mean, so you just need to put 1 into X, and that's and control a Fae, and that is -4/-4, and I think that is fantastic. Oh, and big hit off of this first pack with an Ashiok Wicked Manipulator. 2 black and 3 for a Planeswalker. If you would pay life while your library has at least that many cards in it, exile that many cards from the top of your library. +1, look at the top 2 cards of your library, exile one of them and put the other into your hand. -2, create 2 1/1 Black Nightmare creature tokens with at the beginning of combat on your turn. If a card was put into exile this turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. And -7, target player exiles the top X cards of their library, where X is the total mana value of cards you own in exile. So that is pretty good. Karmic Justice, white and 2. Whenever a spell or an ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, you may destroy target permanent that opponent controls. I mean, that's, you know, turnabout is fair play right there. Curiosity, beautiful art on this. This is the enchantment that goes infinite damage with Niv-Mizzet Perun. You get Perun, I can't remember how to pronounce it, but you get him to trigger, and it bounces back and forth between the enchantment and Niv-Mizzet, just going through and pinging all of your opponents for 1. So unless they have a way to stop you, that's pretty much game. And lastly, an oldie but a goodie from Ikoria. This is an Ikoria commander, Calamax the Stormsire. Whenever you cast your first instant or instant spell each turn, if Calamax is tapped, copy that spell. You may choose targets for the copy. Whenever you copy an instant spell, put a 1/1 counter on Calamax, and Beefy Boy gets beefy. He gets real chonky real quick, especially if you've got your counter doublers out. This is a fantastic commander in and of himself. All right, so 2 mythics right off the bat. So this is a great box so far. Okay, so moving into box number 2, Sad Land is Sad. And we'll just move right through these common cards. Only 3 commons in this one. Collector's Vault. I like that. Pay 2, draw a card, discard a card, make a treasure. I mean, that's a great way to cycle through your deck. You get some mana back that you can use. Frolicking Familiar, just a very cute otter wizard. Hearth Elemental, red and 5. Stoke Genius, and you can hear my producer Frizzle in the back barking at the dangers of outside right now. So you can Stoke Genius for red and 1, discard your hand, then draw 2. So yeah, being able to at least dump your hand if it's crappy and get 2 extra cards. And then this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instants or sorceries or have adventure. Johann the Apprentice Sorcerer, looking at the top card of your library and casting it if it's an instant or sorcery. That's really great. Gumdrop Poisoner, we've seen a lot of her in the boxes that I've opened for Wilds of Eldraine. Tempt with Treats for a mono black, creating a food token, and then a life-linking human warlock. Enters the battlefield up to 1 target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Got a tap land that taps for a in Restless Vinestalk that taps for Simic, either a green or a blue, and you can turn it into a green-blue plant creature with Trample. And whenever it attacks, up to 1 other target creature has base power 3/3 until end of turn. Knightly Valor, when it enters the battlefield, make a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigi, and enchanted creature gets 2/2 and has Vigilance. That's pretty cool. And then we've got a Charade of Numbing Depths. And a rat. That's a very cute rat. All right. So off to a good start with these cards so far. Let's kind of move through these commons real fast. All right, Ash Party Crasher for Boros, Hasty Boy, 2/2. When it attacks, if 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Ash. Belligerent of the Ball, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains Menache. Howling Galefang, 2 green and 2. Has haste as long as you own a card in exile that has adventure. Okay. And then Stormkeld Vanguard, Giant Warrior, Bear Down for a green and 1. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. And then can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. And then the end. 2 black and 2. This spell costs 2 less to cast if your life is 5 or less. Exile target creature or planeswalker, its controllers. Okay, so this is basically a way. I mean, this card is more set up for standard or modern. Basically, choose a creature or planeswalker, search its controller's graveyard, hand, or library for any number of cards with the same name. So, I mean, there's very few decks that you're going to see in Commander that are going to have multiple of the same planeswalker or creature. So yeah, this is more for modern standard play. Hardened Scales. Do like me a good Hardened Scales. Single green for an enchantment. If 1 or more 1/1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1 gets put on it instead. Fantastic. I'll probably put this card in my Vorinclex deck. I already have it in my Vorinclex deck, but I like the art on this one better. And then a Moment of Valor. Okay, and then this is it, the last pack in this stack. And then we just have 4 more to go. All right. Oh, look at that. Foily Land. Do you like those foily lands? See, Wizards, why you gotta tease us with these and then still have the regular basic lands in here? Just print these. I mean, you're printing them. It's not going to cost you anything extra. All right, commons. Splashy Spellcaster. Gadwick's First Duel. Welcome to Sweet Tooth. These food-themed horror creatures. I hope we pull some of them from this in this set, but they're just so fantastic looking. They're fantastic. Whoever designed them had a ton of fun. And back for seconds. And then here is another regular art. I think we had the fancy art so we can compare. Yeah, here we go. We'll pull this out. So here are the 2 Gumdrop Poisoners. I've seen a lot of her pulling these out. So here they are side by side. I mean, honestly, I kind of like this art better than this art. I can see what they were going with the fancy art here, making her look like a gumdrop. But to me, this is a much more terrifying personification of the character. And then we've got an Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have Vigi. And Becoming Brutes is our foil. And that's it. That is the first stack of 4 for this Wilds of Eldraine bundle box. When we come back, we will hit this last 4. So we will see you after the break. And we are back with our last stack of 4 cards from this Wilds of Eldraine's bundle box that now includes set boosters. So let's get into these packs and see what sort of goodness we can get. All right. And just kind of going through these comments. So we've got a Dutiful Griffin, Threadbind Click, and I'm just kind of going through these quickly. Picklock Prankster, and the Chancellor of Tales. And then there we have the Goose Mother, which is kind of a funny card. It's the Mother Goose, but it's a Hydra Goose. Flying, the Goose Mother enters with X11 counters on it. Enters the battlefield, create half X food tokens rounded up. Whenever the Goose Mother attacks, you may sack a food. If you do, draw a card. I mean, it's a base power 2/2. Comes in with a bunch of counters, makes a bunch of food, and is going to draw you a bunch of cards. I mean, I don't see any... And it flies. Yeah, it's a flying Hydra, and it's going to draw you cards, and it's going to smack some face. And it's in green, so you're going to have counter doublers, and it's going to seriously hurt somebody. I mean, come on. A flying Hydra. That is... Yes, I am all about this. Ground Seal enters the battlefield, draw a card. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. And then Embarks Veteran. And then we've got a Knight. All right, pack number 2. Flying right through this bundle box. Okay, that is kind of fun. I think that's where they're mourning the loss of Kenrith, is what it looks like to me. Foily. Going through the comments. I won't sing the comments song. Alright, Two-Headed Hunter. Boundary Lands Ranger. Monstrous Rage. And Embarks Veteran. And then we've got another dual land. Restless Buyback. Enters battlefield tapped. Add red or white. Becomes a 2/2 red-white ox until end of turn. That's still land. And when it attacks, puts a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Another curiosity. This one is not foily. Like the foily one better. And then oh, here we go. Here's a card we haven't seen in a while. The Pollen Shield Hair, white and 1, hair raising for green. Target creature you control gains vigilance and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. And then as the hair itself, it gives your tokens +1/+1, which I think is pretty friggin' fantastic. All right, pack number 3. That means after this one. And these packs are opening much better than the packs in the previous box, let me tell you. Oh, yeah, look at that mountain. I like that. Grabby Giant. Let's see. Red Cap Thief. Archon's Glory. Break the Spell. Okay, Up the Beanstalk. Troyan Gutsy Explorer, I'm guessing that is Jack. Tempest Heart. Feral Encounter. Okay, this is our rare. 2 green. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. You may cast the exile card this turn. At the beginning of the combat phase this turn, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature you don't control. Okay, well that's not too terrible. This will probably go good in the Gruul Exile Wolf deck that came out. Oh, when did that come out? Was that in Baldur's Gate, I think? I want to say Baldur's Gate. It's basically Prosper, but it is in red green, and instead of treasure, she makes wolves. So I think that would go good there. Dark Tutelage. Look at the top. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. And then the Diminisher Witch. And here we go. The last pack of this box. Let's see what sort of goodness awaits us. All right. Go through these commons. Then we've got Emmedine's Recruiter, Gallant Pie Wielder, Stroke of Midnight, and the Charging Hooligan. So one of our rares is Yenna Redtooth Regent, green and white and 2 for an Elf Noble 4/4, pay 2 and tap it. Choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. If the token is an aura, untap Yenna Redtooth Regent, then scry 2. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, so this basically lets you start copying your enchantments, and then if it's an aura, you can untap Yenna and then do it again, but then you get to scry 2. So it's a way to kind of cycle through your deck and make extra enchantments. That's pretty cool. I like that. Fraying Sanity, blue and 2, enchantment curse. At the beginning of each end step, enchanted player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards put into their graveyard from anywhere this turn. So that's really good in a mill deck. I run this in my Davy Jones mill deck that is horror themed, just because it's kind of funny. And then a Griffin Airy and a Cut In as our final card of this box. Oh, I lied. We have a Grimstrider from Amonkhet, black and 3, gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand, and it's a 6/6. So you want a way to discard your hand to make this boy big. And that is it. That is everything from this box. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me as I open it. As a thank you for hanging out and hopefully commenting on the video, here is an arena code for you to take advantage of. So we'll leave that up here for a second. And again, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow our channel for updates. Click all the things so that you know when I am posting new content. And we will catch you next time on Breaking Boxes. Y'all have a great one.